and he was like, boop. Here. Knew just what it was, the whole and gave it back, boop. Yeah. 9/11, no malice, baby. But no violence, baby. My got callous, baby. My bare knuckles got talent, baby. I'm all in the way.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Just a short time ago, these Philly fans in full roar as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. Pyrotechnics ablaze. They're set to go as their Eagles will match up with the San Francisco 49ers. Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now McKinnon to start the drive. And he'll get this one up to the 26. The Pro Bowler Fletcher Cox there to get him down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On second down, here's Garoppolo. Being chased out left. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a third down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. Winston, the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 16. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Then he's going to get this on down to the 13-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
So here comes a 49er offense yet again. Let's discuss the 49er running game while they trot out there. Carlos Hyde is, of course, gone. He's now in Cleveland. What do you make of the backfield as we move into 2018? And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Jerick McKinnon, a 13-yard touchdown run. And the Niners have taken the early lead. And he's got it up and through. Gold now out to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Back onto the field comes Philly's offense. You know, Charles, the Eagles, they've kind of gone from having one of the most enviable quarterback positions in the league to a couple question marks here because you got Carson Wentz still recovering from the knee injury. Nick Foles with a shoulder injury now.
And the thing that they've got going for them, even though it's a little bit unsettled right now, is that it's not as bad as maybe it appears. Carson Wentz has now been cleared for 11-on-11 work. They're hoping contact will come sooner rather than later. The injury to Nick Foles, believed to be serious at first, not so serious now. They think they'll be ready for the opener. And Nate Sudfeld, their number 3 quarterback, After 2 weeks of the NFL preseason schedule, leads the league in passing. So maybe it's not quite as bad as maybe people thought.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now. Let's go.
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. The tackle by Eric Armstead.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Come on now. Come on now. Let's go. Let's go. There's 5-2.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. Ertz over the middle. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. An Eagle first down, Wentz to Ertz.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Here's Ajayi. And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
On the ball. Hey, empty. Empty.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
I'm bringing it to you.
This is Ajayi. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down sticks are, and get there.
Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Now Wentz on the bootleg. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Wentz will try again on 2nd down. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he slides to avoid the hit. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Wentz going to try and throw on 3rd. Escaping the pressure right. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Wentz can pull it down when he needs to, and the 6'5" quarterback picks up the 1st down. So the youngster able to use the legs to pick up the 1st.
And one of my pet peeves when they see this guy play, when Carson Wentz takes off running the football, I always hear people go, oh, he's sneaky athletic. No.
And he caught it up. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. After the fumble recovery, it's Garoppolo. And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Ooh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
That's a lot of points. Now after the fumble recovery, it's Wentz. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. 23 yards on the play.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. His throw incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now Wentz on 3rd down. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. They'll break the huddle here and go for it. This is 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Wentz. And an alley to run. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. That's a 4th down pickup of 10 yards and an opportunity certainly missed on the defensive side. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it down to the 30-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Two minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. They run with Ajayi, and he'll go down at the 28. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. They go play action here on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. And some space here. And avoids the contact by sliding. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
Now it's Ajayi. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now. Let's go. Great.
Wentz now on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. And the 49ers going to take another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Wentz. And Jeffrey's got it. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Alshon Jeffrey so dangerous even when a defender's near him.
He's got such a big body, ability to run, positions himself well, excellent control, and you're exactly right. Even if
and he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Jay Ajayi, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6. Doug Peterson says, let's go for 2 here. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead is now 2. Elliott now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. I don't know. He had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
The mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. Now Sproles. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this.
And a loose football. And this is going to be 49er football. Garoppolo now, first down throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And that is no good. He hit it well from distance, but he couldn't work it back in. So we've come to halftime here in Philly with the Eagles on top. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, so the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. 12 yards there as they move the chains. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. K'Wan Williams, the one that got him down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Wentz to throw on second down. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. DeForest Buckner able to collapse the pocket and drop him for a loss of a yard. The Eagles on third down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Wentz. Jeffrey with a catch left side. And he's taken down, but not before he gets us into enemy territory across the 40. A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion. Working from the gun, Wentz. Flushed out right. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Wentz now on first down. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Wallace. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and have the ability to run it in, throw it, go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on set. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Alshon Jeffrey from 10 yards out. And the Eagles add on to their lead. That's one of those long drives where not only do you score, but you really tire out the defense, too.
That's a great point because now they've been on the field for a long time. Them going to the bench, trying to make adjustments, trying to figure things out, but they'll do so fatigued.
Elliott now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And he'll actually lose 6 yards on the return, but I don't think they care. They've got the football back.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. It's brought in by Jeffrey. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. Wentz now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. On first down, Wentz. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Eric Armstead in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Eagles in possession of the football and leading this one as we get ready to start the final quarter. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And they're going to face a 3rd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see...
And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Darren Sproles taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. And, Charles, when you catch that toss going right or left, really, but right in this instance, do you go straight for the pylon? Is that where you're going?
Well, typically you want to try and maneuver people a little bit so you have some space to get to the pylon. So I want to make sure I try and move them a little bit to the inside, and in this case to the left, so I can get to the right side and get to that pylon and wink at it as I go by.
Elliott now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Trying to check out the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Fletcher Cox busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Garoppolo now. Got his target, Pierre Garçon. And he's brought down after a good gain. 23 yards on the play.
If he's their best threat on offense, use your #1 cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Chris Long in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Now a play fake. Garoppolo. And he's going to go down again. Jordan Hicks in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So the sack of Garoppolo And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Now Garoppolo, gotta have this one. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Brandon Graham in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
Let's go.
Wentz to throw. And that's complete to Jeffrey. And he's brought down. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go out and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you want 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
On 2nd and goal, Ajayi, the lone man in the backfield. Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, when someone other than the quarterback is throwing the football, it's either beautiful or a disaster, and here it was the latter.
Nowhere in between, right? You're exactly right. It takes some fortitude to call that type of a play, but when it doesn't work, oh boy, you wish you hadn't.
One final try now for Garoppolo. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. And, Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home.